Hi, this is Barry Schwartz from the Search Engine Roundtable. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, December 17th. Thanks so much for watching this broadcast. This is the news we covered pretty much over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. What we have here today is several topics I wanted to discuss. The first thing I wanted to discuss is the links now. The links report is now in Bing Webmaster Tools. We reported back, I think in October, the demo of the Bing Links tool is Bing Webmaster Tools, and now it's available in Bing Webmaster Tools. Back in July, Bing revamped their Webmaster Tools. They totally got rid of their link reports, which was a valuable resource within Bing. And then in October, they demoed the new link reports tool, and now finally, several months later, it is live for everybody to have access to. The only issue is you need to run Silverlight on your computer to actually access the data within Bing Webmaster Tools. That being the case, you still can get a lot of information, a lot of filters. All you got to do is click on Index, and then click on Links on the left-hand side, and then it will show you your inbound links to your site over date ranges. It shows you a nice chart showing how many links you have over date ranges, if they increase or decrease. Then you can break it down by page basis and then see specifically which people, which websites, which web pages are linking to you. It's a nice new feature. We covered this on December 16th at seroundtable.com. The next topic I wanted to discuss was related to Google updating or not updating, or whatever you want to call it. Google, a lot of people are noticing some type of update going on at Google. We posted about this on December 14th at seroundtable.com, and we have lots of different threads over Webmaster World and Google Webmaster Help where people are saying their site has been fluctuating up and down in the Google rankings. We always see stuff like this, but it seems like around December 14th and several days before that, a lot of people are talking about it at a higher rate than they usually do, so it means something that's larger going on with Google. I think that died down a bit recently, so it's hard to tell exactly if there was an update or some type of spam prevention technique that impacted some sites, but there's something going on around that date range. If you notice some changes in your rankings, this is why. Again, December 14th at seroundtable.com. We covered a thread in the Google Webmaster Help section where Googler John Moo went ahead and talked about toolbar PageRank. And obviously, SEOs are very obsessed about toolbar PageRank. They shouldn't be, but they are. And we covered this thread one more time, basically just to quote John about what you should worry about and what you shouldn't worry about regarding Google toolbar PageRank. John Moose said, and I quote, we do toolbar PageRank updates 3 to 4 times per year, but to be honest, it's not something that you need to wait for. The PageRank shown in the toolbar is an older snapshot of the PageRank that we use internally, which is continuously updated. Changes to the toolbar PageRank will not change anything on your site's crawling, indexing, or ranking, so as a webmaster, I strongly recommend you focusing on something else. That's what John Moose said, and now we will move on. There's a new thing people are saying that Google Webmaster Tools reports on. Google Webmaster Tools are reporting now that they are detecting doorway pages. So if you are doing doorway pages either accidentally or on purpose, Google will sometimes go ahead and notify you via the Google Webmaster Tools console or via email that you are going against Google's guidelines and they have detected doorway pages on your site. Google goes through a whole thing. They send you a nice email just recapping what site it's on, what pages you can find it on, and how to go about fixing it and getting rid of it, and then submitting a re-inclusion request. We have the copy of the Webmaster email on December 13th at seroundtable.com. If you want to take a look at that, you can. Google News announced that they are slowing down the process for the holiday season of accepting new publishers into Google News. So if you are a publisher and you want to get your site into Google News and you submitted a inclusion request into Google News said they're not going to go ahead and reply most likely until after the holiday season, probably sometime in January or later. Harvey over at the Google News Help Forum said, and I quote, "We wanted to let all you know that there will be a slowdown in reviewing sites for inclusion to Google News throughout the end of the year. If you have recently submitted a site for review, please expect a delay in receiving a response from our team. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, but we sincerely appreciate your patience. I assume this is related to the holiday season and not due to the spam things going on. Google News tends to include a lot of publishers, and they continue to include a lot more publishers. It just might slow down in the course of up until after the holiday season. Marissa Meyer, a Googler, a very well-known Googler, is now in charge of the mobile stuff, and she was interviewed last week, and TechCrunch covered it, basically talking about contextual discovery. We wrote a post about this on December 14th, and what contextual discovery is, at least how she explained it, is basically people getting search results without them actually searching. So Google is going to look at things like your location, your interest, your friends, and with mobile you can do this pretty well, and then serve up information that you might want, or Google might think you want, based on stuff like your location, friends, and other things that your interests. And obviously, there's behavioral targeting, and there's lots of different types of techniques to do stuff like this. But here specifically, it's more mobile related, and it's more contextually driven by where you are in the world. So it's pretty interesting, a little bit creepy at the same time. We have more information about this on December 14th at SARoundtable.com. Tripadvisor, and we talked about this last week. Tripadvisor and Google were going at it. That whole Tripadvisor thing, where basically Google said there was a bug with Tripadvisor and they weren't able to include the Tripadvisor reviews in the Google Places section. Tripadvisor said, no, it's not Google's fault, it's our fault, we're actually blocking you. There was a whole big article on this past Sunday, in the Wall Street Journal about basically Google playing favorites, and Google, basically an anti-competitive type of article. Google responded to this article basically saying they don't really care if they're being fair to make sure that Tripadvisor ranks well or another site ranks well. All they care about is serving up the best possible answer and the most accurate answer as quickly as possible to their searcher, to their users. And that's what they said. And sometimes it has to do with 10 links, and sometimes it has to do with serving up exact content that the searchers wants. It's clear from this that Google's not going to change their behavior or what they do based on this response in the Google Public Policy blog. But the question is, who's right, who's wrong, and that's hard to answer. If you want more information and both sides of the debate, you can look at our post on December 13th at SARoundtable.com. Almost done here. I've got a few more topics to go. The big news, I don't know the big news, but the most upsetting news this week was from Yahoo. It's not surprising that it's upsetting. I wrote about it this morning and yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, pretty much I covered how Thomas Hawk did a post explaining how he's upset that Yahoo laid off 4% of their workers. A lot of that came from the Flickr department. Flickr is one of the most, I personally think, one of the most best properties Yahoo owns, in my opinion. So is Thomas. And he went through this whole entire long letters to Carol Bartz, who is Yahoo's CEO, explaining why they're going the wrong direction and stuff like that. In short, Yahoo cut 4% of their employees right before the holiday season. Very sad, but Yahoo has a history in the past couple of years of letting go employees in bad times, and obviously there's never a good time to do it. But holiday season, I don't know. And he talks specifically about Yahoo cutting that staff in non-core products, which specifically is Flickr, according to this, and other things. Later on that day, there was a slide from a Yahoo deck where it pretty much shows which products Yahoo will be cutting or merging into other products. And I updated our post later on that day, and then I did a newer post later this morning. I named it "The Web Mourns the Expected Loss of AltaVista and Delicious." AltaVista, Delicious are two properties of many properties that Yahoo plans on closing or is expected to close, and a lot of people don't want to see that happen. Specifically, Yahoo Picks, AltaVista, All the Web, Yahoo Bookmarks, Yahoo Buzz, Delicious, and are in the sunset category, which means they're going to be closing it down sometime soon. Yahoo only confirmed a few of those, not including Delicious. There's other things that Yahoo plans on merging with other things, like Yahoo Events, Yahoo People Search, and stuff like that. And there's other products that Yahoo's going to focus on. So we have posts about this yesterday and today. If you want to take a look at that, you can. It's fairly interesting, and it's probably one of the more sad news things that I've talked about recently. 2 more topics, and we're done. This one's quick. Basically, Google. There's a post about Google having a bug of some sorts, where if you don't want your search results to show up as videos, your pages to show up as videos in Google search results, you would use a robots.txt file to block Google Video Bot. That specific type of method to do that is no longer working. Personally, I don't understand why there's definitely other ways to do this, but at the same time, I don't know why anybody would want to not have an extra search result with a video icon in the search results. So I'm not really sure why this is happening and why this person is complaining, but there is some type of bug that you should be aware about if you do lots of videos. We have information about this on December 15th at SEOroundtable.com. And finally, Google Reading Level. We talked about this last week. Basically, Google added a new feature called Google Reading Level, where you can actually sort the search results by reading level, basic, intermediate, and advanced. And this week I discovered that this feature was designed by teachers. Teachers were hired by Google to actually rate the different, lots and lots of examples on web pages. Google took all that data and then went ahead and built a statistical model around that. They also used a Google Scholar as a benchmark for what they considered advanced articles, because Scholar is pretty much very scientific paper stuff. And they used all those types of things to associate the web in general, what the reading level is for that information. So we have more information about that on December 14th at SEOroundtable.com. I think that's it. So thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Again, this is the news we covered over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Today is Friday, December 17th. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.